Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bridgemaster. Um, Bridgemaster is basically a series of lessons slash challenges that was published a long time ago. It's got to be 20 years, right? About. Maybe I could look that up. When was Bridgemaster Puzzles Challenge? No, published. In 1992. Oh man, even way before I knew it. So it's actually 32 years old. Unbelievable. I played it, sometime in the early 2000s, I think. Or not played it, I experienced it. I bought this on CD. It was shipped to me on a CD from somewhere. Or probably I bought it at a local tournament, actually. But it's a really good, if you want to learn how to play bridge, Bridgemaster isn't the place to start, but it should be like step 2 in my opinion. Like, it teaches you, we'll start here, we'll load up. I was on this past screen because I wanted to point out that, like, it's on BBO, right? You can get an account free on BBO, and under practice, it's also under solitaire. You can find Bridgemaster. And apparently it's free. Last time I looked, they charged money for this. But something like 10, 15 years ago, BBO, I guess, bought the rights to Bridgemaster or licensed them or something. And they were selling it. You could, if you like, you could subscribe. It was a few bucks a month or $1 a day or something like that. And so I did a number of the challenges, but not all of them. Anyway, it's now free, apparently as of 5 years ago. And there are 5 difficulty levels of declare play problems. So we'll load up the very, A1, the simplest one here. And I don't know if I'm going to have the patience to go through A1 through A everything, I don't have the skill to do the highest level ones. I don't know if I have the patience to do the lowest level ones. But we'll do at least some level beginner stuff. So they're declare play problems that come with, a preset hand, like this was designed by someone to teach you how to declare. And do we actually need the window to be this wide? Could I narrow it? Nope, not really. Okay. The black bars, I can't help it. Those aren't YouTube's black bars. Those are BBO's black bars. I guess I could crop them but sometimes you end up needing this space. So they're declared play problems designed to teach you something. And one of the things I really like about it, it's interactive. You don't have to do it like a newspaper problem you have to do all in your head or write it down or something. This one you can interact with. But unlike a lot of potential interactive puzzles, or indeed even one on paper, you'll never get lucky. You'll always succeed if you make the right play, and always fail if you make the wrong play. Whereas sometimes, there's multiple options, you try one of them and it happens to work this time, but it wasn't guaranteed to work. And if you'd thought harder, there was one that was guaranteed to work. Sometimes you can just get lucky in real life, right? Bridgemaster moves around the cards between East and West, the hidden cards, to make sure that if you do something wrong, it shows you why that was wrong. You're punished for it. And if you do the right thing, the cards are arranged such that you will succeed. Which is really a nice way to give you feedback. And then you can also ask for the solution, which is a few sentences or a paragraph or so, accompanied by several helpful diagrams from the person who designed this puzzle about how it works. So this is the simplest puzzle. We have to make 9 tricks and 3 no trump. I would say if you're going to learn bridge, you can watch me do some of these, but if you really want to get good, you should do the puzzles yourself first. And then, why even bother watching me, really? Just listen to the solution, which describes why it's right. But I don't know. If you have fun listening to someone talk, you can come watch me do it. I imagine most people are not going to go out and do Bridgemaster. They're just going to watch this, and that's fine. But I don't want you to trick yourself into thinking that's how to become an expert bridge player. So we have to take 9 tricks. How are we doing? We have 2 hearts, clearly, and 4 clubs. That's 6. 2 diamonds is 8. And really no hope of any more tricks in either of those two suits. That's not quite true. We could maybe, if we ducked the diamond, maybe the last diamond would be a winner. We could get lucky in that way. And if that were the only chance, then Bridgemaster would arrange for it to work. However, it isn't the only chance. We can see in spades that we have a chance of another trick. If we can get the ace or the king to be played on a trick where the queen and jack aren't played, and then later we can force out the other of the ace and king with the queen, then our jack will win the third trick of the suit. So we might try, let's play the queen. Maybe West has the ace and king. We could make it that way. But of course, if West has the ace and king, we can also play low and the jack will win. So there's no real reason to play the queen. And if East has the king or ace, playing the queen would be quite dangerous. Maybe queen, king, and then East returns a spade, and I have to either play low, let West win with a tiny card, and then play the ace, dropping the jack, and I get no spades. Or, East returns a spade and I put in the jack. Well, West wins that with the ace, and then I don't have any more spade tricks. If I play low, however, the opponents have an impossible dilemma. They either have to play the ace or king on this trick, and then I can force out the other on our next spade trick, or they have to play low and let me win the jack. So this guarantees a spade trick. They're going to return a heart, I assume? No, a spade. Okay. All right, and they're just letting me have the spade now instead of fighting for it later. So now we have all the tricks we need, right? Just cash 4 clubs, and then 2 tricks in each red suit. And there's no real hope of getting another trick, but I guess the reason they've ducked the spade, pedagogically the reason, is that they want to punish you for not cashing out. Because if I try, ducking a diamond at some point to see if maybe I can set up the 13th diamond, the opponents can cash a bunch of spades. But that would be true even if they had attacked all the spades, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll just cash out. Order doesn't much matter. In Bridgemaster, so often in real bridge, you can guaranteed make your contract, but you should at least try to take more tricks if you can. In Bridgemaster, the goal is explicitly to make your contract. There's no bonus points for doing better. And it shows us the layout, one example layout. But if we were to redeal, well, actually, this is, it'll just show us this layout if I redeal and try making a mistake by putting in the queen in trick 1. So this is a simple example of, why there's a rule of thumb called second hand low, third hand high. That rule is mostly for defenders, but you can apply it as declare if you can't think through the details, right? There's no need to play the queen, because you can always play the jack later to play it right away. Anyway, we can look at the solution. It'll tell us why this is right. So there are 8 top tricks. Next. 4 clubs and 2 in each red suit. They've attacked spades, and they threaten to take 5 tricks if you're not careful. You can guarantee a stopper in spades and get your 9th trick by don't play the queen of spades. That's all you have to do. No matter how the spades are distributed, they have to give you a spade trick. Once you're on lead, you can develop another trick in diamonds if it's 3-3. And they warn you, don't do that, because if you do, the opponents will have they took 1 spade already. You're giving them a diamond as 2, and then they can cash 3 more spades as 5. There won't be enough left for you to take 9. So that's an example, beginner level hand. And I think we'll just play some more of those for, why not? We'll do a little lesson series, basically. As you can see, I've done most of these. There's some that, for whatever reason, I skipped around. Apparently one that I failed at some point in the past. Let's move on to A2. All right, I actually got up for a minute. I was hoping to make it a seamless cut, but now it's been long enough that I don't remember what I was in the middle of saying. So I remember we were about to start this level 1 A2 thing. So we have to take 12 tricks. This is, I don't know, this is the beginner's guide to setting up your suits, right? We have 3, 6, 9 tricks outside of clubs. We need 3 clubs. And the lesson you're learning here is don't just cash your 9 tricks and then figure out what to do. Because if you do that, the opponents will run some more clubs after you set up the club. But having set up the club, I can win any return and just cash out. There's not a claim button, is there? You have to actually do this. But if you tried cashing even, for example, all your spades and then attacked clubs, the opponents could win a club and cash a spade. So I don't know. I think I'm going to skip past the rest of the beginner levels for now because they're just so simple. Or I don't know, maybe we'll try one of the later ones and see if they did something interesting. Let's skip ahead. No, I don't need the solution. Select deal. Let's skip to I don't know. Apparently I went as far as B19 in the past. Let's do B20, one I've never played. We have to take 10 tricks. We have 2 losers in hearts and a loser in clubs, so we can't lose a spade. I mean, this is not 100% trivial. You win this with the queen or the king, or the ace if the king is played, but I don't know, whatever, either way. And if you immediately go after hearts, you have a problem. The opponents will win the heart and continue spades, and then whenever you do, they'll jump on the next trick and cash a third, or lead a third spade, winning their 4th trick. So instead, you have to leave the hearts alone and play a club. I think a club. No, not a club. If you play a club, they can just let you win it. Then what? Instead, what you have to do is cash both diamonds. And only now lead a club. If they let you win the king or the queen, ever, you get to throw away a spade. They don't do that, obviously. They continue spades. Now you cross to a club and pitch a spade on a diamond, and you're good to go. Just lose 2 hearts. But you kind of have to think through what the opponents can do to you there. Let's see what Fred has to say. Was it Fred who wrote this stuff? I think so. Fred Gittleman? Maybe he didn't do all of them. West leads the Jack of Spades against 4 hearts. Yes. South has to lose the Ace, King of Hearts, and the Ace of Clubs. Yes. So you can't lose a spade. I said that. If you win the opening lead and play hearts, you'll go down because they'll win, continue spades, and then you can't avoid losing a spade. Instead, plan to pitch the spade on a diamond. Unblock the Ace, Queen of Diamonds, and lead a club. Yes. Now you have a certain entry to pitch the spade on a club, or on a diamond. Now, this is not without risk. This could go down if, the opponents can rough the 3rd diamond with the 2 somehow, or if they can, rough the 2nd club. But you're certain to go down if you don't play this way. Okay, that was interesting enough. Let's do next deal. Okay, we have to make 10 tricks. I notice I have 12 points. What's in the dummy? 5 hearts, 6, 7, 8. Am I miscounting something somewhere? I must be. 5. Oh, no. So, okay. I mean, I don't think there's a 100% line here. We have 5 heart tricks and 2 diamonds. That's 7. And a club is 8. We have to get 2 more. There are a couple ways this might happen, I guess. One way is we could play the King of Spades, and maybe in some very unlikely universe, West has led from the Ace-Queen, but usually not. And if that happened, then we could just rough a club and we'd be home. However, probably that hasn't happened, in which case we're losing 3 spades, which means we can't lose a club. For that to happen, we need diamonds 3-3, and also hearts splitting, so that I can get back to dummy after roughing out the last diamond. That way, I'll take 5 hearts, a club, and 2 diamonds is 8. I'll rough a diamond, and these 2 will be winners. I think that's the line we're going to have to take. We might as well, though, play low on spades the first 2 times and see if, maybe we get lucky and East has ace doubleton or something like that. I think that's much more likely than finding West with the ace. Okay, no dice. Worth a try, though. King of clubs, we obviously have to win. And I mean, to make the contract, we need diamonds to be 3-3 and hearts to be 3-2. So, in that sense, there's not really much point testing hearts. I think you could lead 1 heart to limit the under tricks in case you're wrong. Could you afford 2 hearts? I guess so. Sure. I don't think it's going to matter. They're going to split, right? Yeah. Now we play 2 diamonds. And rough a diamond high, so that we can get back to dummy with the heart. And the diamonds have split, so we can pitch all our clubs. So, okay. This is one where you have to think about what is actually good enough for you to make it. You need hearts 3-2 or you're dead, so you assume they're 3-2. We won't even bother reading through Fred's advice here because I'm a genius. Okay. B22. We have to take 10 tricks. 4, 8, 10. So we have 10 tricks. We just have to avoid some of them getting roughed. Let's follow with a heart here, and West is going to switch to a singleton, right? No. Well, that's kind of funny, isn't it? We can guard against... If I rough this, I'll lose against Trump being 5-0. But if I don't rough it and pitch a diamond, aren't I risking West getting a rough in something? I guess not, in a way. If West has, let's say, a singleton diamond, together with the 6 hearts his bid shows, Gibb doesn't like to bid to... I don't know. This isn't Gibb. It's common advice not to bid a weak 2 bid like this when you have 4 cards in a side suit. So... if you have 6 cards in one suit, I don't know, I guess West could have 6 hearts, 3 spades, and 1 diamond, and 3 clubs, for example. But in that case, the Queen of Hearts is a mistake. West should switch to a diamond immediately so his partner can win the ace of spades and give him a rough. So we should probably assume... because one of the things that Bridgemaster says, basically, is that the opponents may make the wrong opening lead, but they will defend correctly thereafter. And I think this would be a mistake if you had... so we'll actually pitch a diamond here. I was going to lose that anyway. Yeah, now switch to a diamond and make me regret it. Oh, you know what? I bet you're teaching me a simpler lesson than this. I overthought it, and I'm going down to spades not being 5-0, aren't I? Yep. No? Oh, okay. Spades were 4-1, and I'm fine, it turns out. Okay, whew. I sort of thought you were going to punish me by making East win, and I don't know. Tell me about this, Fred. King of Hearts is led. There are only 3 losers, yes. But if you rough the second heart lead to knock out the ace, East will duck twice. Win and then tap. I see. Yeah. So I guess I thought I could protect against a 5-0 trump break this way, but you're right, I can't. So I made the right play, but I thought it was a little bit better than it is. This protects against a 4-1. Yeah, so are you going to mention the fact that West might rough something? It seems not unreasonable, honestly, that, like, why couldn't West have 3-6-1-3 or something? I guess the point is I can never succeed against that distribution because they would defend differently. Yeah, so I should assume the defense is doing the right thing. Okay, fair enough. A decent hand. What's next? B23. Oh, no tricks to lose. Okay. That'd be interesting. What's a beginner level Grand Slam hand like? I guess the lesson is don't be afraid to rough your winners. So we have plenty of tricks, obviously. The clubs are guaranteed to come in for 6 tricks. The diamonds for 4 is 10. Plus I have a heart is 11 and 6 spades, 17 tricks. Way more than we need. The problem is making sure I can draw trumps before I get to them all. We'll play 2, and the trump are not going to split 3-2. We'll be like, oh no, they're 4-1, right? What a shocker. No, they did split. I guess that's fair enough. Even if they split, you still have this issue. So the natural thing to do right now is to lead a club to the ace and draw the last trump and then, like, claim. However, what if the clubs are 3-0? You'll lead a club to the ace and it gets roughed, and you've lost a trick and you've failed your 7 spades. So instead what you have to do is rough a diamond. Now this diamond is a winner, so I could say, oh, I'll pitch the 3 of hearts. Wow, I've gotten rid of a loser. But better is to rough high, West failing to follow suit. So in fact, diamonds were 7-1. Did the auction hint at this? No, but it's still possible. And if we had done anything but rough high, West would be roughing and taking a trick, which we can't afford. So instead we play this. We had excess winners in diamonds in general. In diamonds as well as in the hand in general. And so we shouldn't be afraid to rough a winner because we don't need more winners. We need to get into hand right away to draw trump. So what do you think, Fred? Is that the advice? How would you phrase it? You have no losers. You should try to draw trumps. Ace king. Yep. Must get back to hand. Some danger in trying to return with the ace of clubs. It's not unlikely one of them will be void. Re-enter your hand by roughing a diamond. And you might as well rough it high, since the trump's split. And then you cash out. Yep. Okay. Fine. That's enough beginner ones, I think. Let's look at a more interesting one. I don't know. If I were a disciplined person, I would just, like, spend 15 hours going through all the beginner hands, and like have a cool course for you guys to watch, but I'm not going to do that. So let's look at some intermediate ones. Have I done all of these? Apparently there's some I got wrong. That should be fun. Let's skip to one of those. What does this mean? Half a star? Weird. Okay. Let's move on to C2 in intermediate. I think is what that one was called. 1 no, 6 no. We have to take 12 tricks. How are we going to do it? Well, 7 tricks in clubs and hearts. 1 trick in spades is 8. So I need 4 diamond tricks. Which... This seems like one of those where you have to guess the queen of diamonds, right? But there's some reason, I guess, why one way is better of a guess than the other, maybe? The opponents didn't bid, right? It was just 1 no, 6 no. Well, let's see if they let me win this trick or if they duck. Okay, they do win it. And continue spades. Fine. I need 4 diamonds. So, if diamonds are 3-3 and I guess who has the queen, then I can make it either way, as long as I guess correctly. If diamonds are 5-1, then I had better play the ace I had better play the ace, and then the jack king 10 will also be winners. No matter where, as long as the queen falls. Otherwise I'm dead. So like if they're 5-1, I need the queen to be stiff and it doesn't matter who has it. If the diamonds are 4-2, then I need to be able to play 1 honor on each of the first 4 tricks. So I feel like I have to lead up to the jack here, right? Is there anything else going on? Maybe they're trying to like remind you. So a thing a player might be tempted to do here is cash the ace. Right? Often when you have a two-way guess like this, you're like, well, okay, fine. I'll take the finesse one way, but first I'll cash the honor that that I'm not using to finesse, and that way, like, suppose that I wanted to finesse east for the queen. I could say, sure, play the ace, just in case West has the singleton queen, and then, since he probably doesn't, I'll play the jack, finessing east, covering the queen if he plays it, and otherwise ducking. That's often a thing to do. Here, that doesn't make sense, because, I mean, it's not crazy, but West is much more likely to have a doubleton queen than a singleton queen. There are many more hands with a doubleton queen than singleton queen. So I think it's just better to finesse the jack, right? Yeah, okay. And this drops the queen, I suppose. Yes, very good. So I don't know why I got this one wrong before. Maybe I took the finesse. What a bad player. That 4 is good, but just in case I've been counting wrong, we'll leave it alone. I'm out of legal ways to fail to make the contract. What would you say, Fred? I hope it was Fred who wrote these, right? They sound kind of stupid. Spade lead, spade return, 10 top tricks. So you need to find 2 extras in diamonds. You can play either defender for the queen. Times are 3-3, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if West has it, you have to lead low to the jack. If East has it, you have to play ace and then run the jack. Sure. This also works if East has a stiff queen. Yes. If West has a doubleton queen, you can succeed by playing low to the jack. But if East has a doubleton queen, you're toast. I think this is sort of what I said, but Fred is saying it more clearly. Because the 8-7 will be stoppers eventually. Doubleton queen with West is more likely than singleton queen with East. You should play the jack. I did mention that, but I don't think I did a good job of explaining why that's relevant. Let's skip ahead to c6, another one I apparently failed in the past. I haven't touched Bridgemaster in at least 5 years, so it's not like I remember any of these hands. So 2 diamonds and 2 spades is 4. Obviously, if I could unblock the diamonds, I would love to do that. I could cash the ace-king and then somehow cash the queen-jack. But I can't. So I think the idea is going to be to cash the ace-king of diamonds and then force them to duck a heart. Yeah. And then say, haha, I joke's on you, I'm not playing diamonds at all, and go back to clubs. So, here, this is the idea. I cash 2 diamonds. Now, if they ever let me into dummy, I've made the contract, right? I have 3, 4. These 4 would be 8, plus whatever I get to dummy with, i.e. the queen of hearts. So you might say, let's lead a low heart to the queen. And that way, if the ace is over here, I'll make the contract. However, it's better to lead the king of hearts. If they win this, we're home, right? We can win the return, cross the dummy, cash the diamonds, that's 9 tricks. So they duck. And now, we can't guarantee the heart is an entry anymore, but I don't need it anymore. I stole a heart trick. And now, instead of cashing diamonds, I can set up clubs. This might look a little bit risky. What if the opponents cash a bunch of hearts after you let them in with a club and you, threw away one of your heart stoppers? But they just don't have enough hearts for that to be a real threat. Even with ace-jack 10-9 over here. So if you gave away this 2 of hearts, if you just removed that from my hand somehow, this plan would be dangerous. Because maybe they would duck the first heart, West would win, return a heart through the queen, and then East would cash 4 hearts. But they just don't have enough hearts between them for that to be possible. If East has 5, then West only has 1 and can't lead a heart. And East can't lead hearts either because the queen's in dummy. Whereas if West does have 2 hearts, then East can't have 5, so they can't beat you. So, I mean, that's why this works. How does Fred say it? Queen is led. There's only 4 tricks. You can establish clubs, and you can establish a heart. But if you do both of those things, they'll have run spades. You unblock the diamonds. You could try leading a heart towards dummy, as I mentioned. If West has the ace, you'll be fine. But no matter where the ace is, if you lead the king, whoever wins it guarantees the queen is an entry. And if they don't win it, then you should give up and go after hearts, clubs. Yeah, see? I'm as smart as Fred. I'm not as smart as Fred. Let's do another intermediate one here. Actually, wait. We were seeing if there were some that I had never done or had failed. Or there was one that was half a star? Or a couple, I think. What? A3? What do you mean half a star? We're in 4 spades after 1 spade, 4 spades. Fine. Well, I'm going to lose 3 hearts, I predict. And... So the question here is whether you're supposed to finesse in trumps or not. Normally, with a 10-card fit between you, opponents have 3 cards. And therefore, it's much more likely to find the king onside, accompanied by one or two other cards than it is to find the king offside, singleton offside. So generally speaking, you should finesse here. But that's all in isolation. We know some stuff. I know that... Actually, can I want to watch the heart spots more carefully. King 10, Queen 8, Jack 9, 10, 8, 9. What does that tell me? Who has the last heart? This is the question. Because if West has the last heart and East has the king of spades, well, okay. If West has the last heart, the defense is in an interesting position, right? If East has the king of spades, then they should lead a heart. West should lead a heart. And East will be able to ruff with the king only if I don't ruff with the ace and secure a trick that way. So we can conclude that the defense doesn't have 4 hearts here and the king of spades here. They might still have 4 hearts here, and let's say West has 4 hearts and the king of spades. In that case, he might not be so keen to lead a heart, right? Because that would reveal that East doesn't have the king of spades. He would not ruff with it. And then I'd say for sure, oh, okay, West definitely has the king, because East would have ruffed if he had it. So West would not want to give that situation away if he had 4 hearts and the king. I mean, I think you just take the finesse here, right? What am I missing? Why is this interesting? Okay, I claim the remainder. I wonder what the half star I had meant. And let's see what Fred has to say as well, of course. You have to take the rest. Don't lose this to the king of spades. Yeah. You could cash the ace when everyone has a stiff king. That works. You could instead finesse West for the king. Yeah, work in any of these 3 positions. Or 4, actually, sure. I thought... Okay, this is just teaching you that when you have 10, you should take the finesse. It seemed like there was some kind of inference about the fact that West didn't continue hearts. But no, okay. This one I also have half a star in. Oh, this is the next one, I guess, teaching you that when you have 11 cards and are missing only 2, you shouldn't finesse, right? Why did those have half stars before? Yeah, okay. So, same deal. In this case, the finesse wins only when West has king and another. And the ace wins when West has just a singleton and East has the singleton king. So that's an equal number of layouts, right? So it's about the same, but generally speaking, like, cards are more likely to not be in the same hand. Any 2 cards you're thinking of. Does that make sense? Sure, of course. So let's I'm sure Fred will explain it more clearly. They cash 2 spades and the ace of diamonds. You have to figure out what to do. Yeah, you have to drop the stiff king. But if West has both, you have to finesse. Playing for the drop is a percentage play. When you have 11 cards missing the king, a 1-1 break is more likely than a 2-0 break. Well, that's not quite true. If you take this is almost, in fact, a coin flip, right? You can imagine, as part of dealing this hand, that the first two cards, well, I don't know. It's almost two coin flips, right? Who gets which card? It's not quite, but it's close. There are equally many hands where West has the King of Hearts as there are that East has the King of Hearts, given all the information that North and South have. And the same is true of the 7. So each of them is kind of given away by a coin flip. But what that means is that... Wait, actually, is a 1-1 split more likely? That doesn't seem right. I guess it is, actually. What am I doing? Is that true? I was thinking a 1-1 break is more likely than a specific 2-0 break. But it's not more likely than either 2-0 break, right? Yeah. Because a quarter of the time, West will get both. A quarter of the time, East will get both. Half the time, they'll be split. Maybe it actually is more likely. It's one of those things I'm always a little confused about. It's like... when you're missing 3 cards, it's much more likely... I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, it works out that you should play the ace there. All right, let's... Do I have... I don't know. Do I have any more in the intermediates? Can I just clear out all the intermediates in this video that I have any issue on? That might be interesting. I don't see any more half stars. Just the X's. So let's do those. D16. 2 no, 6 no. Okay. So we have 6 tricks in the major suits. 3 here is 9. 10. Okay. This is one of those cases where you're supposed to combine your chances by testing clubs first, right? Cash 2 clubs. No. Does that make sense? That 10 is very conspicuous. So, how many club tricks do I need? It depends on the diamond finesse. Yes, it's the opposite way around. You're not supposed to test clubs before deciding whether to finesse diamonds, because you might as well finesse diamonds anyway, right? You don't have any way to get rid of that loser. But by testing the diamonds first, finding out whether the finesse there succeeds, you find out whether you should play the clubs for 4 winners or 5. There is a better play available if you can afford to lose 1 trick. Just cashing ace, king, queen is a thing one would often do, and you hope they're 3-3. Or, if you only want 4 tricks, then them being 4-2 would also be fine. But even better, if you're sure that 4 tricks would be enough, and you just can't afford to lose 2, would be to, on the first round, lead towards the 10. That way, if West has Jack 5th, or even Jack 6th, then you can win the 10 and the ace, king, queen. And you don't need any of the little ones to set up. But to know whether you should take that safety play, you need to know whether you have a diamond loser or not. So we have to win and immediately take the diamond finesse. This succeeds. So now I can afford to lose a club, which means I should play to protect against West having the singleton, or the Jack 5th or Jack 6th. And indeed, thanks, Bridgemaster, for reinforcing good behavior. We find that West did have Jack 5th, so this play was necessary. But, of course, had I done it without figuring out that it was necessary, Fred would be punishing me. Telling me, no, you dummy, you failed your contract even when it was easy to make. So let's actually, before we look at the solution, Let's redeal this one and start over. I told you that Bridgemaster makes sure to punish you whenever you're wrong, but I never showed you that happening. So let's say, actually, undo. Let's say I won the ace and said, you know what, there's a safety play in clubs to make sure you can take 4 tricks. I'll lead this. West wins the jack. Okay, great. Now I'm home, right? I'll just take the diamond finesse. But now the diamond finesse loses. Well, contract failed. So it shows you the whole layout. And it says, look, this was so easy to make. You just had to not lose a club. Play 3 rounds of clubs, and then take the rest. So this is a layout where, sure, the play I made works on the layout that existed. But my line, but doesn't work here. The line that I took would also succeed in this case, because after losing a diamond to the king, I would say, well, I need all 5 clubs. I can't afford to lose one. So we play ace, king, queen, find out they're 3-3, and celebrate. So there you go. So Fred, what do you have to say? You have 10 tricks. Diamond might be 1, and clubs could be 1 or maybe 2. You should finesse diamonds first because you don't know yet whether you need to take the safety play in clubs. But since the finesse wins, you do need to lead to the 10. Yes, if the diamond finesse had lost, you need 2 extra tricks, and so you should play clubs from the top. This is called a discovery play. Indeed it is. So does this count as me? It still counts as an X because my most recent play was a failure. Okay. So maybe the reason that I had some X's was not necessarily that I failed, but that after succeeding, I went back and said, okay, but what would happen if I had done this? Maybe. Or maybe I just failed. One never knows. So let me just put a star back on the score sheet here before we move on. Still 3 left? Sure, I can crank out 3 more hands this video. I shouldn't, but I will. That way I can just say I finished up the intermediates. 6 diamonds doubled. Oh dear. This double suggests a diamond lead, right? Or heart lead, I mean? No. Usually the double here is like... Well, I mean, it is asking for a heart lead, I guess, but East doesn't need... The double there, obviously, it means that it'll be more expensive to go down, but players use it to mean, please lead something unusual, I'm planning to rough it, generally speaking. This is interesting, is it not? How do I... Well, I guess, actually, if West is leading the 10 of hearts, East must have, like, the ace, king, and jack. Probably 5 hearts. Maybe even 6. So we have to rough both spades. But we want to do that as safely as possible. So we sort of have to figure out what that means. What if I just lead out a club? Does that make any sense? I don't think it does, but maybe. I think we want to use the clubs as hand re-entries, right? Because I can't afford to rough very many hearts. West is threatening to over-rough if I'm not careful. So it feels natural to rough this, ace, king of spades, spade rough, club. And then if a heart comes back, I guess I'm roughing high? That could fail if diamonds are 4-0. Is there some... Can I test heart diamonds first? I think so. I think I can afford to play one round of diamonds first, right? Rough this. Diamond. Ace, king of spades, spade rough. Club. If they try to draw trump, I can win it. Cross in clubs. Take the next rough. Then I have to cross in hearts, though, and an over rough could come. This doesn't seem easy. I can't quite like work out what I can afford to play around and what I can't. Well, wait a minute. I can't afford to lead a diamond, right? Because I need 2 spade roughs. Yeah. If I lead any diamonds, they'll lead another when they get in with a club. So, I don't know. I think I just have to cash these, and if it gets roughed, I'm sad? It doesn't get roughed. Okay. Now, this should be a club. No. Should I play a spade? I could play a diamond to hand, but then I can't over rough. Yeah, that's crazy. This has to be a club. And, I mean, this is sort of a scary moment. If diamonds are 4-0, I'm going to go down by roughing high. But I think I'm supposed to. I don't think I could afford to test diamonds, right? Okay, they're not making diamonds 4-0. Okay, this was the right answer. Phew. No, I lost the diamond. I lost track somewhere. Diamonds were 3, and did I rough too many times high? What happened? Did I lose track somehow? Could I not afford to rough any of these high? Back up. Oh gosh, it's so annoying to have 2 clicks to undo. Yeah, there's nothing on the keyboard that does it. Well, okay, let's redeal, I guess. So I roughed this. I played 2 of these guys. And a club. I guess that's true. If I'm roughing twice, I can't actually afford to rough high here. You're right. Because I'm roughing with 2 of dummies winners, and diamonds might be 3-1. In which case I need 3 top diamonds. Okay. The intermediate ones got me this time. Embarrassing. Yeah. East double asked for a heart lead. Yep. You have to lose the ace of clubs, and you have to avoid making a trump for West. Yes. Rough your spade losers. Right away. Don't rough a heart, because if you do, it'll be too easy for them to promote a trump. Yep. So instead, play the club right away. East wins it and hopes. Well, there's nothing to hope for, really. South rough low, yes. Another Trappist play on clubs right away. Sure. You don't have enough entries. You have to promote stuff for yourself. You missed the trap I fell into, which was thinking I could rough high when I couldn't. Whoops. Okay. 2 more X's. Here we go. 10. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of points. Explains why I opened 3-0, I guess. Is this another example of like the thing where I had the diamonds running in dummy and I had to lead the king? I think so. So I have 1, 2. Yeah, this is like the same hand, isn't it? Can I not just cash 3 clubs and then play the king of diamonds? They have to let me win that. And then when they do, I go back to hearts. I would have 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that works. I feel like this is the same hand we played a minute ago, but like just slight variations. The important. No, they're not even threatening. They're not even challenging me by returning a diamond for some reason. Huh. Okay, well, I'll take an easy one, I guess. Leaves the queen. Diamond. The clubs are blocked. You have to win. Unblock all the clubs. Then the king of diamonds. If they win, you get to dummy. If they don't win, you go back to hearts. Yeah. So isn't this is the same as one we did earlier? Okay, fair enough. I mean, we are skipping around. It probably was a while ago in the order of hands. I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't make me do this. 4. I mean, West is more likely to have. Well, who underleads ace empty 4th though, right? Nobody. He could have jack 4th. I think I should put in the queen. I assume like neither way is gonna. I'm not gonna guess right. The defenders are just gonna cash 4 spades. Yeah. And then the question is, how do you take enough clubs? Right? Is that a question, though? I guess so. We currently have 8 clubs, but we started with 9. I pitched one from dummy. So we can afford to play the club to the ace. Nope, we're going to go down now. What's wrong? What did I do wrong here? Clearly I deserved my question mark. Or my X. Are you saying I should have put in the 10? I don't think that's right. Or was I supposed to do something different in clubs? Oh, I was. No? Well, no, I couldn't afford to lose a club. On this layout, the only way I could succeed would be by putting in the 10. So why is that right? You lead a spade, yeah. Spade back, uh-huh. Why, though? Well, I'm sure Fred will tell me. Now that this has happened, it's still not clear what to do, is it? I could duck a club completely, play no winners from either hand. I guess that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Because it only fails if spades are splitting 5-3, and therefore they can cash 3 more or 2 more spades when they get in. However, the spades that they led indicated that the spades were 4-4, and therefore this is safe enough. Yeah. I guess that's the lesson. This seems like a tricky one. Why am I supposed to put in the 10, though? That's what I want to know. Oh, wait, undo. I forgot I still have to finesse. I was resting on my laurels here. All right, Fred, why am I putting in the 10 at trick 2? Yeah, so I guess we should mention, why is it that the spades appear to be 4-4? Players, a common method of, an agreed upon method, agreed upon by many players, not as many as when Bridgemaster was published, but still common enough, and especially against no trump, is when you are leading a suit and you don't have several connected honors, you should lead your 4th highest card. This helps your partner get a count on how many cards higher than that one he can see, and therefore how many you have and how many Declarer has. And since the 4 is the lowest outstanding card, if it is the 4th highest, then West must have only 4. And the 5 is the same thing. So both of them are kind of saying, I have exactly 4 spades, is why we think that's the safe. So you must play the 10 to have a chance. Why, though? If East has the ace and the jack, is with West, you have to play the queen instead. Sure, I agree. This is exactly what I was thinking, and I always get this mixed up. Like, yeah, of course I think West has the last honor, because they're not as likely. Well, but I don't know. This isn't what I was thinking, I guess. I thought of this, and then I came up with a counter argument, which is fine, but West is more likely to have been dealt honor 4th than he is to have been dealt jack 4th. But who leads low, right? Who leads a low spade from ace 4th here? What was the auction? Okay, whatever, redeal. 3 clubs, 3 no. Okay. I guess that's why West didn't lead a club. And he didn't lead a heart because he doesn't have 4 of them. I don't know. I would be leading a heart here, I think. But so the in isolation, if someone just said, "Oh, okay," that West has the 4 of spades and East has the king, is it more likely that West has the king or the jack? Restricted choice argues that West is more likely to have the jack than the king. Or the ace than the jack, rather. I was arguing that, okay, but who leads low from honor 4th? But I guess that's not the point they're making on this deal. And maybe it's just not enough to overcome restricted choice anyway, which it is a fairly strong inference that, it confuses people. I mean, oops, not history. Restricted choice is a big surprise when you first learn about it, and it takes a while to stop being doubtful every time it happens. But the idea is, if the opponents have 2 touching honors, like the ace and king, or king and queen, or queen and jack is the most common example, and you find out that one honor is with one of them, it is more likely that the other honor is with the other one. Or at any rate, you should play as if the honor were in the other hand, generally speaking. Which is a surprise because of, isn't it just 50-50 where that card was? Yes. That's definitely true. But you have new information. There are kind of 4 setups that are possible. Maybe West was dealt both honors. Maybe East was dealt both honors. Or maybe West has the queen and East has the jack. Or maybe West has the jack and East has the queen. So there are 4 possibilities. You've eliminated one of them. You know that definitely, let's say, West doesn't have both because you saw East play one. But East had a choice. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not very good at explaining restricted finesse. Maybe it's in here somewhere. And I don't have a ton of time. So, but anyway, after that, the important thing is to duck a club. Once we find out Well, okay. Why don't you tell him, Fred? Yeah, spade, you have a spade choice. Percentage plays finesse the 10, because East is more likely to have honor jack than to have both honors. Yeah, there are 2 cases where you have honor jack, and only 1 case where you have both honors. So players might, a player new to this might say, well, we know he doesn't have king jack because he didn't play the king. We know he didn't have just ace jack because he played the king. Right? That's true. But suppose that if you play that way, you're just making a coin flip every time, if that's your belief. But suppose, like, West won the trick, and you, like, close your eyes, and you said, I don't want to know whether it's the king or the ace. I'll just, as long as I know it's one of them, I'll just say he won the trick with the king or ace. And then you say, okay, what do I do on the next play of the suit? I could play him for king jack or ace jack, or I could play him for ace king. And in that case, it's obviously better. Oh, of course. I'll play him for honor jack. So even if you kind of don't believe, I don't know. These are 3 cases that were all relevant at the beginning of the deal. And you can eliminate one of them, but it's still... I don't know. I can't explain it. Restriction choice is too hard. So if I select deal, I'm done with all the intermediate ones that I had X's on, right? Okay, let's take our victory where we can. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.